Hey guys, welcome back to Mrs. Froggy Flips. Sarah here. Today I'm gonna do a very personal video. I hope that it brings love and acceptance to your heart. I hope it doesn't cause you to have anxiety or sadness. I just want you to feel love, and I want you to really listen and hopefully not get emotional or, I have to do this video. I have thought about this for a long time, and I keep putting it off because it's hard to talk about. It's something that is extremely personal, and I haven't been able to talk about it, not only because it is hard to talk about, but because a lot of people that are toxic or that were toxic in my life have since been removed, and now I have the freedom to be able to do this. So I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good, and this is not just for me, this is for a lot of people. This is for everybody. And my whole point, my whole purpose, actually, I'm going to start with a mission statement. My mission is to be the change I wish to see in the world by creating a life free of judgment and toxins in the form of hate and radical ideals. I want to create a positive impact on society through whatever means I can, in hopes that I can change one life. We don't have to be alone. We are all 100% human. And the beginning of that was, of course, a quote by Gandhi. Gandhi is, just a beautiful thinker, and a lot of his ideas just really speak to me. And he talks a lot about forgiveness and love, and sometimes it's really hard to forgive people, and sometimes it's really hard to love. And at the end of the day, we really need to be more accepting. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start what I really want to talk about. Okay, so the topics of this video are mental illness, substance abuse, acceptance, and understanding. I'm going to be talking about my brother and a friend of mine, both of whom have passed. Okay, so let's start off with my brother. Okay, I'm going to try not to get emotional. I've actually already done this video 4 times now. So I've done a rough draft now, and I'm gonna try my hardest. Okay, so my brother was 3 years older than me, and we were always close. We never really fought like brothers and sisters do. We fought when we were younger, but we were always friends. He introduced me to music and Anthony, so I will always be thankful for that. He also began drinking and smoking in early high school. He was either a freshman or a sophomore. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. And it was to the point of him passing out and blackout drunk just in high school. It progressively got worse when he was in college, and by the time he was 28, married, and his first child was on the way, he was in rehab. So after he got out of rehab that first time, he was sober for what seemed like forever. But it seemed like I think it was 2.5 or 3 years later, he had his second child, and it was like every 6 months he would just he would fall off the wagon, and it was really bad. And it was just really, really bad. I mean, he would call, and he would, you almost wouldn't want to answer the phone just because you knew you were going to be on the phone forever. He would just talk and talk and talk, and it would just go in circles. And I have a lot of guilt about that, because there were times that I didn't answer, and I didn't really understand why he couldn't just stop. I didn't understand how it affected his brain. I have since then done a lot of research, and it's obviously too late to help him now. But I have done a lot of research, and it changes your brain chemistry. It's a very interesting disease, and it's a horrible disease. It is absolutely, positively a horrible disease that if somebody tells you that it's unlike cancer, they're lying. It is such a horrible disease. I can't imagine being an alcoholic. I can't imagine it. But I feel like what goes along with that, a lot of alcoholics suffer from some form of mental illness, whether it be brought on by the alcoholism or it could have previously been there and they were self-medicating with the alcohol. So anyway, back to my brother. His marriage ended up ending, and by the time he was 35, he passed away. And most likely he died from withdrawal. He called me and he was hallucinating. I have a nursing background, and at the time I had a 5-month-old son that he had never met, because I refused to allow my son in that environment. I don't have any guilt about not allowing my son in that environment. However, I do have guilt with how I handled the situation. I wish that I would have been able to help my brother. I was unable to help my brother because I didn't understand, and I didn't take the time to try to understand. It's not that I didn't want to, it's that I couldn't see through the fog of that stigma. I couldn't make myself. I was so angry that he couldn't just stop. I was so angry that his love for his children, I didn't understand. Especially being a new mother, it just didn't make sense to me. I felt like I would do anything for my child. I just didn't understand how he couldn't. But now I know. I'm so sorry. That I'm sure that he wanted to do something and he just couldn't. I had a friend, that I worked with, and she was also friends with Anthony, and she was depressed. She always seemed so happy, but she was really like, she never really seemed stable. She was either really happy or like angry. It was always one of the two. And it got to the point where I would start writing it on the calendar, because I was like, I and I didn't understand, like, why is she treating me so bad? Like, did I do something? Like, is this me or is this her? Like, I was really confused by what was going on, and I was trying to see, like, is there something that's happening? Like, nothing made any sense. There was no rhyme or reason. There was nothing that aligned with her anger or happiness. Nothing made any sense. And I asked her, I was like, I just wanted to know. And she ended up going to get help. So she ended up going to therapy, and they diagnosed her with depression and bipolar. So she got really upset because she did not want to be labeled. She didn't want to be labeled. I get that. Totally get that. I have been taking medication since I was 12 for depression and anxiety. You know, I don't think it's any big deal, but some people do. I don't know. I don't see the big deal. I have multiple sclerosis. I have to take a lot of medication, but I would rather be, you know, in my right mind, able to do things and able to function and go about my day. But there are some people that just can't do that. And I come from a household where people are not supposed to know your business. People are not supposed to know that you're depressed. People shouldn't get in your business. And I somehow got out of that. And I'm very, very thankful for Anthony and his family for really introducing me into a healthier way of life. I wish that my brother could have gotten help sooner than he did, because I think that he would be alive today. From the research that I've done, Actually, I have to go back. Okay, so back to Katie, I'm sorry. So she didn't want to be labeled. She didn't take her medicine. And she ended up taking her own life. And that was really hard on me. That changed me for a long time. I ended up going to therapy for the first time ever. And I was really torn up for a long time. It was really horrible. It was the worst death that I had ever experienced. It was horrible. I will just leave it at that. It was really, really hard. But I want to say that these two situations that impacted me, there are tons of situations like this, and there are worse, and there are different situations, better situations. But the thing is that if people felt like they could be more open and honest about their true feelings and how they really felt without the fear of judgment, they would be able to get help. They would be able to take their medicine. They would be able to embrace their lives. So I am just calling you to embrace people's differences. Stop discouraging them. Let's come together and have each other's backs. We are all in the same boat. We are all 100% human. And let's start today. Let's come together. Let's all be family. Let's stop separating each other. You know, I don't understand why we're so angry at each other. And I know we have a horrible past with, you know, there are so many different things that happened in the past and that are still continuing today. But for the people that are watching me, let's just, all of us, come together and have each other's backs and just be love. Let's show people what love is. That way we can be the example. Love can win. And I'm telling you, if love can win, we can change the world. We really can. I really think we can. And I know that that sounds crazy. I know. But gosh, we've got to start somewhere, because this world is crazy. This world is crazier than this idea. People are killing each other for no reason. People are dying because they're afraid of being judged. I just don't understand why we're so mean to each other when we should be loving each other. Please just help each other out. So I've created something, and I'm going to show you these pictures. This was my brother and me. This was Katie, Anthony, and I. My brother's name was Brandon. So I have created a shirt. It should be on the screen. And I want a portion of the proceeds to go to mental health and substance abuse. I'm also going to, from now on, any of the money that I make, I'm going to figure out what percentage I can donate, but some of my proceeds from everything that I earn, some of the proceeds will go to a charity that supports mental illness, substance abuse, any of those types of charities, because I need to do something that is powerful, and this is what I want to do. So if this is something that is close to your heart and something that you believe in, I would really appreciate, you to comment, subscribe, and send me an email at mrsfroggyflips@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that this was a really long video and it was definitely different, but thank you guys. Love ya. Bye.